All right, I'm going to show a little bit about how testing with self-esteem works. Add self-esteem to your gem file. I'll show the quick setup. In development.rb, you need to add this use middleware line, an initializer. So self-esteem basic configuration, all you have to do is tell it what your test directory is. It could be spec or test. And the last thing we need to do before we get set up is we need to temporarily change the development environment to use the test database. So now after that setup, we're basically ready to go. And what we do is we set a system variable, environment variable, to, let's do registration sign up. So this is going to be our first feature that we're going to test. So start the server with that environment variable available. So let's go to the sign up page. Let's go test guy. So we've signed up a user and we've completed that feature. So let's look at what this actually did. And what it did is it built this system under test, system support affirmations. We now have registration sign up, and you have your affirmations file, you have your database and your session. So this is the last state that you left your feature, the database, in. So you can see that we've created one user, and you can see that this user is signed in. This is using Devise, so Devise will look here for that. And then we can actually run the test now. So we run the test. And everything's green, which is good. And what this actually tests is, these are the assertions in your test file that we've built. So it asserts that the responses are the same. It asserts that the relevant instance variables are set. It asserts that the instance variable objects have the same IDs, so checking that object creation, and it asserts the templates created at each one of these affirmations. So you can see that it's a GET request at this request path. You can see this one is a post. This is where we're using these parameters to create this user. Okay. So now what we want to do is go test the next feature. So let's create a YAML file called project. So this feature, we're going to be creating a project. And what we want to do to set it up first is copy this little YAML bit. And we're going to give it, there's no affirmation, so give it that. Then this we're going to say is going to be so we're actually going to require this to be in its last state. So it's going to take the database before the test, and before the run it'll take this database and load it, and it will take this session and load it. So we can do that by going here and saying project. So now if we go back here and we open up a brand new incognito mode browser, you can see that we can go directly to projects and we've already been signed in because of the requirements of the, so test guys signed in. So now we can just go ahead and create a project. Some project, test. So create project, and that's all we need for that. So we go ahead and stop, and we can go check out it has built out the affirmations, and it looks, you can see that somewhere in here we've posted 2 projects with the parameters, and you can see the state of the database. It's created a bunch of stuff, which the app automatically does, and it leaves you with that session. So we can run this file, and you can see it's green, and we can go break something and prove to you that it's doing something. Let's say, like, let's just add an arbitrary validation here. And this should break because now we can't create projects anymore. Yep, and it says undefined method. So this is actually testing stuff. And now what we can do is we can go ahead and build on top of that. We can say, let's do one that's a finish, which is the next thing we can test on top of creating a project. So the same thing, we take this, we tell it its requirement, which is not registration sign up anymore, it's now project. And there's no affirmations quite yet, so let's open up a brand new incognito window to prove that the sessions and database is loaded. So let's go to projects, and we should have a project. We do. So now let's add a finish. Let's add what we need necessary to make it work. I think that's it. Create the finish, and that's all we need. And we can go ahead and test that this is passed. Now you have 3 system test features in place, and they all are working off of each other. And you can imagine you could test the entire app in this fashion, and it would follow exactly what a user would actually experience in real life. And you can set up multiple starting points. Like, for instance, you could sign up as an admin and have a whole feature branch that tests a system test for the admin side. That's about it.